Hey everyone, it's Tyler from Universal Rackets, and today we are going over court positioning. Depending on where you are on the court should determine what type of ball you should hit. If you can think about where you are on court, when you hit, it's going to help you out so much. So, we're on this side. We have a side view right now because I really want to show you the different aspects of the court. So you have the baseline right here, right? Anything in front of the baseline is offense. So if I ever get a ball and I'm hitting inside the baseline, this is an offensive shot. Now, when I am at the baseline, anything at or around the baseline is neutral. So anything at or around the baseline is neutral. When I'm up here, I'm being aggressive on offense. I'm trying to win the point. Back here, I'm trying to hit the ball deep, right? Playing neutral. And then anything back behind the baseline, maybe 2 feet behind the baseline back here, is what we call defense. So once again, inside the baseline, offense. At the baseline, neutral. Back behind the baseline, defense. Now, we're going to go over the different types of shots to hit based upon your court positioning, okay? So I want you to think, whenever you are inside the court, once again, wherever I am inside the court, I want to make sure that I am being aggressive, right? Being aggressive means that A, you might take a couple down line shots, and B, you are going low over the net. So if I ever get a ball on here, I'm on offense, right? My goal of tennis, and the goal of tennis, is to rally neutral. Someone might push you back, okay, then your goal is to get back to neutral, but then eventually your goal is to get to offense and win at the net. So it's basically a goal or a battle of who can get out of the neutral position first. By getting out of the neutral position or getting your opponent out of the neutral position onto the defensive position, they're either going to A, hit it back neutral to you, B, they're going to give you an offensive ball, or C, they're going to miss, okay? So again, if I can get my opponent back in the defensive position, the best that they could do is hit me a neutral ball back. It is very hard, and okay, if you're playing the doll, but if you're playing at club level, if you can push someone back in the court, it is very hard for someone to consistently, high percentage-wise, win points from back behind the baseline. That's when, if you ever watch tennis, if you see who's ever typically always around here, whoever's closer to the middle of the court or to the net for most of the match is probably winning the shots. Because again, back here, I'm not hitting a lot of offensive shots. So when I'm up at the net, right, I want to go low over net. I typically can take it down the line, and I want to get up to the net, okay? Notice when I'm up here, I want to make sure that I'm playing with a ton of spin. Now, I put a link to the description of our approach shot video that we just went over, how to hit a good approach shot, different tips and tricks. But again, you want to make sure that you're playing with spin. When you have little court to work with, the less court to work with, the more top spin that you need. So when you get these balls, make sure you're going low over the net and you're playing with tons of spin. That's when you can go down the line. Now, when you are back around the baseline, okay, your goal is to what? When you're neutral, your goal is to push your opponent back in the defense so you can get a short ball. That's the game of tennis. You push your opponent back, they push you until A, someone misses, or B, they give you a short ball opportunity to get up to the net. So when I'm neutral, I want to typically be going cross court and trying to get the ball deep in the court. Now, if you play someone who's let's say an intermediate level or lower, if you hit in the middle of the court, that's fine. But the more advanced you get, even if you hit the ball deep, if you hit the ball in the middle, they're going to win a lot of points. So you want to get the ball cross court and you want to get the ball deep into the court when it's neutral. Now, when you are back behind the baseline, this is where you want to play with tons of height and tons of spin. So if I ever get a ball and I'm back behind the baseline, watch what I'm doing. I am playing with tons of height. I need to get the ball deeper, and tons of spin. Now, those balls were at the service line. That's not good, because if I hit my opponent's service line ball, what shot is that? That's an offensive shot for them, right? Just making sure you guys are paying attention. So when I'm back here, watch what I want to do. I want to move back, and I want to play with tons. Come on, get out of baseline, service line. There we are. I want to play with tons of height, right? My goal, again, I'm getting pushed back. I'm trying to push them back and get them back at the baseline so I can either A, advance back up to neutral, or B, get an offensive shot. So that is the type of height that you want to play. Also, you want to play with a ton of spin, because remember, if you play with a ton of spin, then you can get the ball in, right? So when you are back here, I want to be finishing forward and playing with a ton of spin and ton of height. Hopefully that'll be better next time. So the goal of tennis, again, is when you're up inside the baseline, you're playing down the line, you're being aggressive, you're playing low over net, trying to get to the net. When you're neutral, you're trying to get the ball deep. If you're more advanced, you're trying to get the ball diagonally. And back here, you're playing with tons of spin, tons of height, so you can get up back into the court. The reason why you don't want to drill a winner from the baseline, guys, is listen, if you can play someone that can get the ball back pretty well, think, even if I hit a Medvedev shot and I drill the ball, my shots are off tonight. Here we are. Even if I play a Medvedev shot, right, and I drill the ball back here, when the ball's going fast, what can your opponent do? All they have to do is tap the ball up in the court, and then I can't get it because I'm all the way back here. When the ball's in the air, what can I do that my opponent can't? Or what can't my opponent do when the ball's in the air? When the ball's in the air, look, when this ball's in the air, what can't my opponent do? My opponent can't touch it. To the time the ball bounces, where am I going to be? Back into the court. So if you could play with height, it's going to give you time to then advance back up into the court and get into your court positioning. That is why you want to play with height. If you get pushed out wide, or if you ever get in a big fight and you're on defense, if you play with height, you're going to be all right. Now, I hope this court positioning video helped you. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, put the link to my ebooks as well. Have a good one. Check out that approach shot video. Play with height, depending on what court positioning you're in, and happy hitting. See you guys next time.